Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, Naked Gun, 2.5, Fried Green Tomatoes, The Last Boy Scout, Boys in the Hood, New Jack City, Soap Dish, Jungle Fever, Necessary Roughness, Class Action, Pure Luck, Ricochet, House Party 2, Flight of the Intruder, A Rage in Harlem. The year is 1991. If you wanted to be nominated for an Oscar and you were a black person in 1992, you had to be in one of those 15 movies. I'm Chris August. Welcome to the Oscars. Michael Caine has always wanted to join us, but he's a racist dick. So let's talk the films of 1991 and the Oscars of 1992. This was the big historical year because there was finally a black director nominee after decades and decades and decades. John Singleton finally busted through and got acknowledged for his work as a screenwriter and as a director for the classic Boyz in the Hood. And it was a movie with no cast, apparently, because no Ice Cube, no Lawrence Fishburne, no nobody in the acting categories from that. It was the year of Stevie Wonder's Jungle Fever snub, not to mention the straight across the board snub for everything affiliated with that Spike Lee movie. The story, apparently, and I haven't looked it up, but I remember it a little bit from back in the day, was that the song Jungle Fever, and tell me you can't hum that shit right now without even having to go Spotify it. The story was that it wasn't even considered eligible because there was some fakakta-ass loophole that made it ineligible because in the scene in which it was played, it couldn't be discerned clearly enough to actually be considered on the soundtrack. What in the entire fucking fuck? If I'm not mistaken, and I might be, and somebody check this and correct me, or I'll go and check it, I feel like in addition to being played in the scene, it was also played over the credits at the end. I think it was the second end credit song, but I might be making that up. Either way, come the fuck on. Say something else, Stacey. But I'm gonna be a little bit of a provocateur, and I'm going to invite us over to the podium. In I believe 1998, 3 of the Best Picture nominees, and 2 of their corresponding directors, Life is Beautiful, Saving Private Ryan, and The Thin Red Line, were all movies about white people during World War II. The other 2 movies, Shakespeare in Love, which ultimately won Best Picture, and Elizabeth, were about white people during Elizabethan England. Tell me why! No, you ain't gotta tell me why. I know why. But tell me why anyway. There is not room for 2 movies about black people in modern urban settings. Y'all, the slipperiest slope that anyone acting in the disruption of bigotry can find themselves on is the slope of believing that there is such a thing as enough. And you know, the Academy believed that while they were snapping their shoulders and their elbows, patting themselves on the back for nominating John Singleton, that they had done more than enough. And the fact is, Boyz in the Hood was not the only big, successful, critically acclaimed, popular movie that gave us a look into what it was to be young and black in the 90s. Mario Van Peebles was the son of movie people, had been in the industry for a really long time, and he's smart as shit and he knows what he's doing. And if we look at Boyz in the Hood as skewing on the side of docudrama, then we can see New Jack City as skewing on the side of music video, and both are completely valid ways of telling the stories of people who have been told their whole lives that there are only a handful of things that they're worthy of and that they can do. Is a hugely important movie, and imagine if there had been 2 black director nominees in 1 year. Imagine what it would have done for Mario Van Peebles years later when he goes on to make the completely ignored by white people film Panther. Y'all, how you gonna ignore a movie that's got Angela Bassett playing Dr. Betty Shabazz? Oh my God. Could have changed everything. Fortunately, Mr. Van Peebles is still alive and thriving, directing episodes of Empire. And Mario Van Peebles, you are receiving an Oscar. I just gotta find out when.